Welcome and hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. Hello and welcome and welcome and hello and welcome. And I don't want to be dramatic. I definitely do not want to be dramatic when I say this, but this could be the most important YouTube broadcast you've ever seen in your entire life. Welcome and hello. It's Un Poco Moss, guys. Thank you for joining me on this very, very special edition of Un Poco Moss. What makes it special? Absolutely nothing, guys. It's a Freaky Friday. A lot of people are asking me, what's going on with these stocks you've been talking about. It's been a hell of a run. SoFi really ran from 7 to 22. It's no Palantir where the stock just 20x's right quick, but it's a hell of a run. Like, stocks don't just double and triple quickly like it used to be when I was young, before all this wrinkles and gray hair and big fat head and the world kicking me around and paranoia and anxiety and just constant snacking, insomnia, just coffee, espresso addiction. Just before all these things, guys, we would be elated if we would make 10 or 12% in the stock market in a year. It used to be a good year, you'd make 8%. Wealthy people that I know, that I invest for, then I do business with, whatever, wealthy people are happy to take like a secure 6-7%. But these days, like Gen Z turds and Lambros and U-turders and people with, weird facial hair, people that are always on vacation and never seem to be working and just very circumspect, and people who say right a lot before they're going to say anything. Well, right, that's a solution. People who, talk in corporate speak. I'm not trying to single out Tevis just because, he's smarter than me and more successful and all that stuff and younger, better looking. All right, I'll single him now anyway. We love Tevis here at Poco Moss, as well as Tanner. We loved Tanner. Kind of got me started on all this fintech nonsense. I didn't really know anything about it, to be honest. I was just a big fan of SoFi, but I didn't really understand the whole landscape until I started, following the Canadian fin-turd mafia like a little fanboy. Of course, I love Steve, big sexy Fred Flintstone. But, now people want 100% gains in like 3 months. And frankly, I give it to you. I give you these stocks. Like I make incredible, like I said, people won't believe me. I don't know if you guys remember, I said I was going to put 10,000 into this SoFi account, and it's like a $10,000 challenge, and see if I could make it into 100,000. Did a lot better than that. So, and it's only been 7 months. So, it's very possible. If you play calls into bull runs, you can make incredible profits. I sold some calls last week. I was up 1,200%, 1,500%, and just tons and tons of them where I'm up, 300% in a week. And I'm not buying weeklies, but I buy like calls, several months out, but I sell out of them because the profits just get astronomical. And I'm like, kind of goes to the, what I said down in my Chiron is, you can never get rich taking big profits, taking big gains. You have to take some money off the table. Okay. I'm not talking about, any one of these, pardon me, any one of these stocks in particular. But what I'm saying is that the market gets overheated, it gets overbought, and rallies end. And you don't want to be the guy up there saying, well, my account was whatever it might be. My account was 250,000 and I love these stocks, but now my account's back at 160 or 170 because all of these things retraced 30 and 40%, and I didn't know how to trade it. But I almost think you cannot even get into these stocks as an investor if you don't understand how to trade the highs and the lows, and you don't understand volume shorting and options and how all these things play together, and how market makers are making money and moving these stocks, and how you have to watch the filings very, very carefully on the prominent longs as well as the prominent shorts, and you have to be able to put all those puzzle pieces together. It's people talk a lot about technical analysis and people talk a lot about fundamental analysis, but they're missing probably the biggest 800-pound gorilla in the room, which is the mechanics. The mechanics fix prices of stocks. They come in and do all sorts of shenanigans that don't really fit into fundamental or technical analysis. It's like, what's a guy hitting you over the head with a bat and stealing your wallet? Is that fundamental or is that technical? Like, it doesn't really matter. You got a big fucking lump on your head and you're broke. Okay. And that's what these guys do, is they just roll retail. It's a zero-sum game, guys. I mean, this is the whole point of me doing this stupid show, is like, I get so sick of people telling me these stories about how painful it was, how there was a run and they didn't sell, and it went to the bottom and they got terrified. It's like Facebook. I mean, so many people dumped at the bottom and now the stock just went crazy. I mean, Netflix, the same, so many stocks. I mean, I bought, thankfully, a lot of them at the lows that then went crazy, and I missed a lot too. And I sold a lot of them way too soon, but did I or didn't I? I still think my decision was sound, and I made the best decision I could with the information I had available at the time. Of course, would I have sold Palantir under 20 if I knew it was going to run to 150? No. And I'd probably be retired right now if I hadn't. Pretty damn close to it, because I had quite a few shares. But I sold and I took 100% profit on the stock. And, yeah, I am kicking myself, mainly because I'm portly. But you always kick yourself. When you take 100% profit and you could have had 1,000% profit, that's never happy days, Fonzie kind of memory. It's not Joni loves Chachi. It's like Joni kicked Chachi right in both testicles, and it was painful. So anyway, I wanted to just run over like where I am on these. Are these completely out of gas? Or these? I think NIO is still under $5. It's just absurdly undervalued for what this company is. I mean, what is it? It's 10 billion cap or something. I mean, they're already extremely important, hitting all segments, and they're going to be a power company. They're going to be a power grid all over the world. They're going to own the stand. I don't think it's that hyperbolic to say, like, what if you really owned like the standard for gas? I mean, you own this portable energy source that is very unique. And I think the Chinese government sees it. I think CATL sees the importance of it. And I think everybody is soon going to wake up and smell the smell and fall a little foodie. NIO has lightning in a bottle here. And this valuation, like, oh, they only sold 5,000 cars this week. Like, that's irrelevant. This was proof of concept. They built this whole network by themselves, and CATL knows they can't do it quickly. Choco Swap is vapor. They don't have any nationwide network. How can they put all these vehicles on Choco Swap? They're going to try to drug William Lee and steal the NIO battery swap network for, too low a price, in my opinion. I hope we're not desperate. I don't think we are. I think we're negotiating from a position of strength. I think that's why, William Lee has that simple haircut. But what's the chart telling us? I mean, look, yesterday versus today. Today, we made a higher low. We made a higher high, basically the same volume. The volume is very unique. It kind of, it's either been, like I said, it's either been like 120 million or it's been down at like 70 million. It's just bouncing between those two, but it's very clear that this is not, accidental, or this is not coincidental. This is the algo working. This is the algo trying to control things. But there's new money. There's tons of new money coming into the stock. And you saw that, I think, was the BlackRock filing, like their average cost is under 5, like 435 or something. I mean, the smart money who actually knows what's what, they saw this thing at 350 and they loaded the boat to the point of sinking, point of capsizing. They had so many shares. So I know 5 is sticky resistance, but I think it's got to break it down this run. I mean, the short is expensive, and this is not a $5 stock. To that end, I mean, just anecdotally, I mean, I always read these, press bits, and it's like Hui-backed Ito begins pre-sales of M8 BEV variant, and they, you read through this thing, and okay, the starting price is $53,000. Sorry, guys. Uno momento, por favor. Lo siento, lo siento. 1,000 pardons, good sir. Sorry, guys. I just have to explain. It's Friday, guys. People, very important people, want to get paid. A lot of guys want to get lied. Like, you guys want to have a cold brewski. But anyway, so this is just kind of funny how this is. They say that pre-sales starting at $53,000, and it's competing with models including the Onvo L90 and the Li. The L90 is starting at $27,000 without the battery. It's literally half the cost, and it's as good a vehicle. That's why I was saying yesterday, the L90 looks like $50,000 for half the price. This is going to appeal to people with money who don't like to waste money. I mean, for me, like the NIO, it's like used to be like the Lexus buyer. It's like if you, like me, owned a Lexus LS430 Sport, you weren't going to buy a Mercedes S430 for $25,000 more when the Lexus was a far superior vehicle. I mean, that little 4.3 liter V8. Oh, that car is just. That's one of the best cars ever made. That rare sport model just firms up the suspension. But I'm a big Lexus TRD guy. I mean, I love American cars. My favorite cars are Chevy C10 trucks, but I'm a big whatever reason, I'm a big fan of older Lexus cars. I think it really was revolutionary. What Lexus did to come in and sort of challenge the paradigm. They're like, oh, a luxury car is German, an American car is a piece of shit, a Japanese car is cheap, fuel efficient. They stuck to a lot of those principles, but I think Lexus was very, very important in the evolution of the automotive industry and really the evolution of cars, the expectation of consumers. Remember how, unreliable cars used to be? Now cars are, far, far more reliable. And that's not just advancing like science and knowledge. It's a lot of it is, production techniques, engineering, different breakthroughs that, chemists and stuff come up with where these fluids last, lifetime. No, that's a sealed system, sir. That's good for a lifetime. Well, then why is it seized and failed? No, that's not serviceable. Well, then, change it. I don't believe in that stuff. I don't believe in these, it's trying to, and you notice when they include the service, like, nah, your car doesn't need service. Like, I'm not going to name any names, but like some of these German brands, like they include all the service. And it's like, no, you don't need your first oil change till 15,000 miles. Like, well, car is brand new. You got to change it. I don't care what you did with that engine. There's going to be, particulate matter in there. And you got to break the engine in. You got to change. Oh, nope, you're good. Sealed system. Kick you in the nuts, send you on your way, give you a ham sandwich. Oh, well, okay. I am hungry. I'm a bit peckish, as luck would have it, as fortune finds me. Then again, very few times I've been offered a sandwich in my day, in my life. Lo, these many years that I haven't, my mind, my little devil that sits on my shoulder, my angel always calls in sick, and that little fat bastard, that little devil, like, yeah, I could use a sandwich. Yeah, I really could. I just ate, but just had a quesadilla, but when am I going to get a free sandwich? Oh, I'm horrible. So anyway, it's just, they know, it's like the automotive press and everybody else knows the L90 is that good for half the money. And this car is going to set the freaking world on fire. I'm telling you, NIO has lightning in a bottle in more ways than one. This car is their defining moment. This is their LS400. This is where it all starts. NIO was 0 days old when they released the Envo L90. William Lee just got his first haircut, just had his first beer. William Lee is looking like this soul owning his own car company, NIO experience aged him a little bit. Looks like he's been under a little bit of stress. Looks a little bit frail. Looks like he could use a body, man. Fat American. Come in, give me a free vehicle. Let me test drive things. Got the cooler in the back. Perfect for my sandwiches. I wonder if William Lee like to have a sandwich Danny Deals. Put him on get old Noto Lurker on that. See if we can get old Big Bill Lee on. Get him on un poco mas. Me and him have a couple of sandwiches. Oh, I like a good sandwich. I like a burrito, a quesadilla, like a mozzacholi, and I like I was going to say meatballs, but I like the deluxe. They put some cold cuts in there, like some salami. Get that going. Some sausage, cut up a nice sausage, a little Italian sausage. What do you guys think? You wouldn't know it by looking at me, but I like a nice meal. I like to sit down, just enjoy breaking a little bread, a little red sauce, Yeah, $6 is nothing. I mean, yeah, I think it could be $6 next week, quite frankly. But anyway, so I don't know anything. You guys discuss it. The great Jeremy Miller's joined us. Of course, the great Jesse. That's Jesse with 2 E's, 2 S's, and 1 J right there at the beginning. The cost to borrow is constantly under 50 cents. It doesn't work. It's based on a percentage, but let's see. No, cost to borrow on NIO. Is that what you're talking about? No, cost to borrow today averaged 7%, and the max was 9%. So it's running right around 5%. But that's probably what you meant. 0.5. Okay, I got you. That would be 50, or I don't know. 0.05 maybe you meant, or I don't know. You meant 5. So it's not that high, but actually that's pretty high, because it's what used to be like 0.3, and there's an awful lot of shares. Look what they did today, actually, guys. They shorted 5 million more shares, and they borrowed another 20 million shares. So they're just tilting here in defense of 5. These shorts absolutely are going to defend the honor and good virtue of the number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They just loved Sesame Street. They loved to count. They just developed sort of this reverence for the number 5, and they're going to defend it with their lives, and their money, and their honor, and their treasure. Give up their firstborn to defend 5. It's a nice number. We're going to kill retail. We're going to leave them on the battlefield. It's like Russell Crowe stars in 5. Led a small group of NIO shorts against a bunch of fat, useless retail investment turds. We're going to leave them all dead on the battlefield. Well, my name's not Ingratius. Gracious, Shortus Wangus. Fighting around the world with Russell Crowe and his tugboat. That was a good skit. South Park. Guys, sorry this show's no good. Really apologize about that. I'd like to apologize to the children. Of course, I did note on the description the show's not for kids, because I do tend to use some occasional profanities. But let's go over to this SOFI chart. Of course, it looks like a big sea monster, seahorse, something like that, which is, the water line would be about here. You see like 2 humps. Be some crazy drunk Scottish lady. I looked out over the lock, I did. And I tell you, I'd had, I don't know, 12 or 13 Jamesons at that point. I fell down face first and passed out when I came to. My husband was berating me because dinner wasn't ready. It's like, can you get to the part about the sea monster? It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was just lonely, drunk, so I called the number. Like, those shows, they never, like, listen, if you were going to find Bigfoot, we live in a world full of like trail cameras, game cameras, hunting cameras, highway cameras, satellites. Every single person in the world has at least one video camera in their pocket right now. Unless you extracted it to play a little spirited game of pocket pool, as so many of you want to do. Hopefully not during Poco Moss, but what you do in the confines of your own home or office or cubicle is certainly none of my concern. But anyway, a lot of you have mentioned that the Noto Lurker cap does make you a bit randy, so I can understand that. We all love not a lurker, but not like that. Reserve that for Mrs. Lurker. So anyway, what's going on with this chart? You see this line is actually pretty good. It starts right down here at $8.70. And that's what's extraordinary, guys. This was just, a week through April. The stock was 870. So this is 3.5 months. 3.5 months. That's a hell of a move. That is a hell of a move. And you see volume is still pretty good. It's petering out a bit. What's going on with the chart? You take out this haymaker candle where they dropped it back down below 20 and just hit stop losses right here. I guess, the low on that day was 1982, which was a good year. I was a little fat kid, just struggling my way through life, trying to find pants that fit. Your waist is exceeding your length by just a ridiculous margin here. Oh, get this little fucker a salad. Who hasn't heard that from a salesman in a menswear department? Why are you in a menswear store? You're 3. Well, I'm big boned. Oh, God. Being a fat kid sucked. Anyway, guys, that's neither here nor there. What's this chart doing? Sorry, I'm super tired, guys. I don't even know why I'm doing this show. I have no idea why anyone would be watching it. But to me, and this is just, you can't really say why, because this is a little bit random how this comes together up here. But to me, maybe I'm just wishing I see it. Maybe it's just an ephemeral sort of fading mirage of bullshit that I'm seeing, but I'm seeing this stock catch a little bit of support here around 21.18. I'm seeing it, and I know I see what I want to see. I'm no Haley Joel Osment. That's for sure. Haven't seen him in anything lately. Perhaps we could bring him on in Poco Moss and wadir him about his latest projects. Haley Joe, call me. I wonder if he still goes by Haley Joe. Sounds so like little kid. But anyway, so you see this test here, and I see a little bit of, so if we can get to here, get a little bit of consolidation, volume holds up, I think this probably legs up, maybe not next week, but the week after. We might see another little dipsy-do. As I warned you the other day, I wouldn't worry about any type of retracement unless it drops down below 18 area. But if this 21.18, 21.20 area holds, the stock's going to go up, like I said, to around 24.75. And that's where I think it'll check up and probably get forced down. We'll see some retracement there. It won't be dramatic because I think the SOFI ER is going to be, I think the guidance is going to be stellar. Now, I've done more SOFI videos than anybody besides like Tanner and Stock Goat and, the dude who does the synthesizers, Jimmy Chitwood. Dude, when that synthesizer comes on, I just get extremely violent. I just punch the first person I see in the face. But that guy's good. It's like the technicals, and he says a catchphrase like "take that as you see it," or I can't remember. But everyone has like these little phrases they do out every U-turder. All distinct, all annoying, all useless, all irrelevant. Anything you could pretty much glean by just glancing at a chart and hitting yourself in the head with a mallet. But no, this looks prime to me. You're just not seeing a lot of organic selling in the stock at all, because Noto and management have had such confidence in the stock, and you could argue that the multiples are getting a little bit overextended at this point, but I think not when you account for the growth. I mean, I think the stock is still slightly undervalued. Would I rush to buy here? I think there might be more value in the market in a stock like SMCI that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But if I didn't have so many SOFI shares already, it's one of the top positions in my portfolio, I would have no problem buying the stock at 20 or 21. I mean, I think this stock is going to be a huge, huge company that competes with the mega banks decades from now. And I think their growth story will continue to be told and unfold and unfurl before us in all its glory and majesty, like a great Min sale in the movie Master and Commander or something like that. Or what was that one with John Candy? I need a grand sale, 50-foot high she be. It's like, nope. I had to get rid of the freezer, the frozen catch of the day, just frozen fish. Was that who was that what's that guy's name? Artie from the Larry Sanders show. Rip Torn, is that right? Didn't he drive his car through a bank or something? But I think he the captain. Is that Summer Rental? Where he learned to sail and sailed with his underwear? Is that Chet Ripley, Funnel Gunnel? I get that one confused with The Great Outdoors. I think that was Chet Ripley. I can't remember. It's like a sad scene where he's like, you can't win them all, honey, to his daughter. And she's like, yeah, but dad, one would be nice. It's like, yeah, one would be nice. That's how I feel sometimes, guys. Life's done nothing but kick me square in both nuts since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. Oh, I tell you, wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all, guys. Jeremy Miller knows what I'm talking about. Rip Torn. Yeah, dude, Jeremy Miller has all the answers. Jeremy Miller might be challenging Not a Lurker for control of the comments. Doesn't need a wrench. Just exudes his own authority due to his vast knowledge of useless, like in the Trivial Pursuit game, like arts and entertainment, like you go to Jeremy Miller. That's where you're going. He just knows all the answers. He's got all the answers at his fingertips. An expert on Americana, cinema, leisure, music, identifying actors from vague, incoherent descriptions and markers. Very resourceful. If hits didn't bother him, I'd give him a job. Yeah, hits never bothered Jeremy. It's business. No, I don't kill people. It's not something I do. I'm a comedian. I'm actually a pacifist. Unless I'm being violent at the time. Let's see. Where is Birdie? I don't know. Where's Not a Lurker? It's an even better question. I know where he is. Shaving his head. No, he's probably sleeping or eating or something. Who the hell else is here? It's a lot of comments, but not saying nothing. Rip Torn Tequila Bow. Let's see, guys. So what was I talking about? SoFi. Why do I love this company? Like, that loan platform is a harbinger, if that's the right, I don't even really know what that means, but it's a harbinger of things to come. Like, SoFi is going to be the place people go online for loans. It's going to realize the promise of a bullshit website like Lending Tree or one of these, or like Ask Jeeves or something. I love Ask Jeeves. I still use it. Results, you're getting results from 1993, but it's a good year. Everything comes up, it's just totally irrelevant. So anyway, tons of information about like Ross Perot. Can I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish? You're going to hear a giant sucking sound. Oh man, that was crazy. A real third-party run. It's unheard of. What the hell is Elon doing with this America party? I think he's just talking out his ass. I mean, it's hard to build a political party in a two-party system. Maybe a one-party system here pretty quick. Yeah, just these election observers are here with guns. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, the chart to me looks really, really good. Now, there's still a significant short on the stock. You still have Noto trying to pressure this thing up to $45. You still have the counterparties to that financing deal. A lot of institutions, this thing was down for long enough for the institutions that want to send it up to get the shares they want to get. Are they happy at 20? I don't think so. I mean, a lot of retail got in low, and they weren't shaking retail on this stock, much like they're not shaking retail out of NIO at the lows. They're just buying more. That's the thing with retail. Like, and I keep saying this, retail used to be stupid and scared, and that was a great combination for market makers because they could just shake them down, take their money, shake them, take their lunch money, bend them over a barrel, guided tour of the 50 states, et cetera, et cetera. Just roll them, leave them for dead, leave them broke. But now a lot of retail, like post-COVID, people just don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, you're going to send NIO to 350? I'm just going to put my life savings into it. So what? If I get, if I go bust, I'll go live with my parents. Whatever. Live in my car. Live the van life. I would do it, but I do not have six-pack abs. All those couples are like overly attractive. Like they look like models. Like I'm thinking, is that woman really so low maintenance that she just lives in a van? Like I'm not buying it. Like you're making millions of dollars on YouTube or whatever. You're living in a Four Seasons or Ritz-Carlton. Fucking Mercedes Sprinter van. It's rolling out of bed with like makeup on, it's perfectly toned. Some guy with like beard oil, some stupid little long-haired douche, just slightly balding, a little bit of gray in his beard. Fucking 12 abs. Give me how do I make granola in a small space? Okay, go fuck yourself, okay? How about that? How about you take your van and your fucking six-pack abs and your beautiful bone structure and you just go fuck yourself? Because nobody fucking cares. Okay? I'm tired of just these irrelevant, just bullshit things that I waste time on YouTube. How do you prepare your food in that Sprinter van? I don't care. You don't even live in that van. It's all bullshit. You can tell the guys who are for real. They look like guys who live in a fucking van. And I know people who live in vans. And they live in vans. Like when there's like, hey, I live in my van. You're like, I get that. I pick up that vibe from you. You don't look like a, Runway model who just retired like 2 weeks ago. The van life, it's the bullshit life. Everything is an illusion online, all this stuff. Everybody's perfect on social media. Everybody's life is just fucking perfect. You've seen those pictures of like the reality versus like what people show, those like attractions, like tourist things. And then you show like the real situation, just like packed in tourists. Wearing too much cologne. Just crowding you. No idea how to drive, how to park, how to do anything. Oh, I hate everybody, guys, as you know. So I don't really know what I was talking about. I talked till I'm blue in the face about SoFi. Should you buy it here? I don't know. Is it going to retrace? Possibly. Is it going to go up? Yes. Is it going to go down a little bit before it goes up more? They love to hit SoFi at earnings, even on really good earnings. They manufacture negatives. I mean, it's getting harder and harder to do because the numbers and the growth and these institutional partners that keep wanting their loans and to partner with them in all sorts of ways. I think the investments they made in golf, in NFL, in NBA, I think they're just starting to pay dividends with that organic brand awareness. I think SoFi has come so far, and SoFi is going to be just the clearinghouse for loans. Whatever loan you want, you're going to go to SoFi, and what lenders are going to have to go to SoFi. SoFi is going to be the gatekeeper. They're going to kiss Noto's ring. Say, Noto, can you give us some loan volume? You say, I'll allocate you some spectrum, you useless piece of shit. Here, have a windbreaker. Give him a free windbreaker. Take pity on him. All right, so I don't know what I was talking about. So Supermicro. What's happening with Supermicro? Supermicro looks incredibly strong right now. I think Supermicro is going to run a lot further. If you look at the chart, let's see, what the hell am I looking at here? Basically, the way I see it, there's like a big dead zone on the chart. I don't know what the hell time frame I was looking at before. Yeah, like pretty much from here. I mean, this is just my opinion because here's the thing. When you look at charts, you have to understand moves. These areas don't mean anything. These, again, like, this is the third pillar. These are the mechanics. This is where fundamentals, technicals, it's all irrelevant. They just program their computer. They have a big bank account and they just say, take the stock from here to here in 10 days. And it just does it. It just doesn't care. It just steamrolls everybody. It just overwhelms the whole order book and it just goes where it wants to go. Okay. 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 Um, so anyway, I just see this huge dead spot. I see this whole area as a gap up until about 70, 77, from about right here, from about 48. And we're already starting to clear that. So I just think that I've said 89 in the past. I'll stick to that. I think this is a triple digit stock easily. I think the growth rates are just astonishing. And I think the EPS is going to catch up to that. The company is going to stabilize their books. They made a big deal today. It's like a $1.9 billion deal where they agreed, made an agreement that they could sell their receivables. And I don't know that much about that business. I guess like kind of like factoring. But it looked favorable to me because they're growing so fast and they have to pay for the hardware in advance and they get paid on the back end. That's very problematic for your cash flow. And, you guys all know what kills a business is cash flow. It's not the books. The books don't matter. It's, can you pay what you need to pay? That's what really matters at the end of the day. But to me, this rally just looks extremely strong. I mean, the stock closed today at the highest price it's been, since February, since that run. And it's just showing extreme strength today in a market where this whole peer group of these, hot to trot stocks was getting, trounced, or at least getting hit, or at least the shorts were going after it. But I think SMCI shorts have come to the realization that they were on the wrong side of the trade and that nobody's buying their BS, and that Uncle Chuckie is a genius, and geniuses are not afraid of bullshit bean counters telling, fish stories about how the whole thing's a fraud and the whole thing's made up and it's all these related party trends. It's just like half of 1/1,000,000th of 1% of nothing. There was not only no fire, like the smoke was bullshit too. Like, you knew it was bullshit. Some of those Hindenburg reports are like, they basically went back to old lawsuits, read the transcript of the deposition, and pretended they broke some kind of news. Now, Hindenburg has broken news, but not that. A lot of these reports they do are just absolute retread, bullshit. And that was the case with, and, and I bought that dip just hoping for some sort of dead cat bounce, before I knew much. But as I started looking deeper and deeper into the company and sort of what they were alleging and all the problems they've had, I sort of started, it's just that this is sort of this tightly held company, run like a private company, run like this mom and pop operation. You have all these people coming in and out like a revolving door, people that make mistakes, they end up rehiring them. I think it's just out of this, sort of this old-fashioned loyalty. It's a different world if like Asian business people, and there's just sort of a different culture where you maybe have a little bit more, loyalty. There's a little bit more of a personal investment than there seems to be these days, like in America and Europe. It's just a different like corporate culture, and you just don't, I think, discard people quite as easily that perhaps you feel were instrumental in, getting you to the successful point you were. But to me, this rally looks really poised to just push up significantly. I mean, I think it's going to go up to 76, perhaps 89, and I still think the company will be undervalued at that point given the growth. Because look at what Uncle Chuckie is leaning in to this incredible opportunity in AI. It would be so easy to say, oh, we've had these accounting issues. Everybody says it's a problem. We'll just sit back. And no, he puts new factories in Europe. He puts new factories in Asia. He puts a third campus in San Jose. He's got 3 campuses in the San Jose area. Who has 3 campuses in the San Jose area? Uncle Chuckie. Okay. Yeah, Uncle Chuckie. Uncle Chuckie loves me. We cut down rare trees together. Tree foundation money. Spends it on wine. Just deforests everything and plants vineyards of fine grapes, varietals. But no, this notion that, Dell's gonna eat, they're ahead of Dell. I'm sorry. They're better. And HP, we have 100 years of liquid cooling. Well, you suck. Your books suck. You can't compete. You can't compete on price. You can't compete on anything. And nobody can deliver this stuff like SMCI. The speed, the cost, the density. They're better. They have a better mousetrap. And yeah, Dell's catching up, but they have a ways to go. I think consumers that just want the nitty gritty and want the best price, I think they're going to go to SMCI for the foreseeable future. And while I think the next ER might be problematic, because if you look at the accounting scandal, they were recognizing revenues too early. I think they're going to be very, very gun shy, and they're going to recognize revenues when the project is completely done and dusted and running and the check is cashed and cleared and in the bank. So I don't think these projects, they said, okay, the projects are deferred a quarter or two. Maybe they've started the projects, but I don't think they've finished the projects. So I'm not looking for this ER to be like the breakout step. They might attack after this ER. Could very well happen. But I think ultimately we're back on our way to 76, 89, and well into the hundreds is where this thing really should be. Because the execution and the growth is there. Yes, they made mistakes with accounting, they made mistakes with personnel, they made mistakes with compliance, they made mistakes with the, regulatory filings, all of that. Accounting, auditing, not doing things properly. Mistakes were made. And I apologize if any of you were offended. I don't apologize for my actions. I apologize for you being offended. See what I did there? I apologize without taking any accountability for anything. Why are you apologizing that I was offended? To apologize for what you did. You obfuscating weasel piece of shit. God, I hate society now. Oh, by the way, I'm getting help for a drinking problem. Irrelevant. Nobody's accountable. Nobody. Yeah, you're right, Ben. That's exactly what I'm saying. I think they're coming kicking and screaming into the fact that they're, big multi-billion-dollar company here. Mega cap, not a mega cap yet, but large cap anyway. Mid cap. I don't know where the line between mid cap and large cap is. Was it 50 billion, 10 billion? I think one is 10 billion. Penny stock 5. I don't know the lines. Small cap, mid cap, mega cap. I always thought small cap was under $1 billion. Mid cap was 1 billion to 10 billion. Large cap, I don't know, 11 billion to 100 billion. Mega cap over. I don't have no idea. Nutsack. Anyway, so that's my spiel on SMCI. I don't know. Should you buy it? I don't know. Out of all these, honest to God, I think SMCI has the most momentum. Everybody wants a piece of that stock, and it's because of AI. It's the same reason NVIDIA keeps going up. I mean, SMCI is right in there with AMD, with Intel, with NVIDIA, with all the... They're ahead. They're just ahead. Uncle Chuckie's a freaking freaky genius. And he's a good-looking man. He's a handsome man. Looks good in a blue blazer. I like his smile. They said I'm not gay, but I'm extremely gay friendly, and I like to party. If you're a member of the gay investing community, let's get you on in Poco Moss. If you're straight, you're bisexual, let's get you on. Love to pick your brain. I don't know. Being very specific. Thanks, Deuce. Thanks, man. It's funny. I always failed in the entertainment industry. Fell flat on my face. I used to get violently attacked by my audience doing stand-up. I would just antagonize them on purpose. Be like, oh, you guys on a date? What are you doing with this loser? He looks like he just lost his job earlier. Like, I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I was drinking heavily. It probably entered into the equation. But I like 2 people out of the 6 watching found me absolutely the funniest person they ever see in their life, and the other 4 just beat the living shit out of me. That was how most of my shows ended. I mean, I never did shows like, you know, talking like open mics, like opening for nobodies. Oh, I'm so weak. So weak. Like Costanza. You take everything I ever did and consolidate into one weekend. It looks decent. Oh, I suck. Anyway, guys, that's not really the point of this show. Enough about me. What the hell's going on with CRISPR? I'm curious to see the short on this turd. Let's see. Do I have it here? No, Iova got hit today. That stock is a setup, man. That stock is an absolute setup. $25 price target. Kathy Wood doesn't need Tesla to win. Yeah, Kathy Wood absolutely crushing it lately. So they shorted pretty heavily again today. 400,000 shares. Average is only 7%, so I guess they find that to be affordable. But I still don't see these guys having too many outs. They have, you know, a huge portion of the shares on loan. They can definitely attack the stock again from here, and that appears to be what they're trying to do, but pretty feeble, honestly. It's pretty weak. I mean, if you look at this attack, I mean, it's just a very slight algo down bubble, basically closing in the same place it was 5 days ago. I don't see this. I don't see this as necessarily over. You know, again, it looks to be trying to find a little support here, you know, near 64.75, 64.60. This gap, again, I don't really find this to be a gap because this over here is a couple of days. This doesn't bother me. I don't think it has to be adjacent to each other. Why do candles have to be adjacent? Why can't they just be in proximity? You guys remember proximity mines from those that 007 N64 game? I used to memorize all the maps. Like my roommate gets so angry, just know where he was going to regenerate, just lay proximity mines. Like a complete, you know, asshole. I like those paintball YouTube videos where it's like some like ex like special forces guy in a ghillie, how do you say that? Ghillie suit. And he's just like, you know, all these weekend warriors are out there, and this guy's just in some full fucking warrior mode, just picking people off. They have no idea where he is, shooting them in the balls for sport. And then they have the whole paintball. There's so many U-turd subcultures, the whole paintball cheater subculture. I like that when pranksters get beat up because their pranks are not even meant to be funny. They're just doing horrible things to people. Hey, I'm going to dump a smoothie on your head. Oh, never mind, man. It's a prank. Well, I have to go to work and you just dumped a smoothie on my head. How's that a prank? Basically like, hey, I just said F you and punched you in the jaw. Oh, it's a prank, man. Oh, so why are you getting mad? It's a prank. Oh, you just punched me in my face. I didn't realize it was a prank. I'm not upset anymore. It's hilarious. I have a fractured jaw. I'm going to go to the emergency room, but it's very funny. It's very good. The fuck? Who do I hate more, the pranksters, the TikTok pranksters, or the van life people? The van life people. And again, don't get me wrong. If you really live in your van and really live the van life, God bless. Salute, health, and happiness. But I'm tired of these models. I'm tired of these chiseled six-pack abs telling me about, you know, quinoa and fucking organic meat. They cooked a 5-star meal over a candle, and they made the candle in their van while they were parked near the beach somewhere off the Oregon coast. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I gotta go to work. Fuck you. Okay? Let me summarize my feelings. Fuck you. People are so fucking zen. They've just got it all figured out. Just got a man bun. Just fucking incredibly fit. I hate everybody. I hate people so much. I hate society. I wish it wasn't so easy for me to make money on these stocks. But I guess the question, should you sell CRISPR? I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not. It should never. That's the thing, guys. If you manipulate the starting line, you can manipulate people's psychology. You're like, well, it just doubled. Yeah, it did just double. But it's worth 100 plus. So what, where it came from? This is market psychology. This is what now, can I get mad at you if you have 50, 60, 20, whatever percent profit and you feel that that's, that's your safety zone, that's your safe word? If your safe word is 65 and you sold and you took your profits, man, great job. You will not hear word one from me that you should have held on and been more greedy. Absolutely not. Nobody ever went broke taking profits. You go broke holding on and wanting more and being greedy and holding your calls until Friday instead of selling them on the pop on Tuesday. Like I tell you, sell them on the pop on Tuesday. If you're still holding calls on Friday, you're the schmuck. Almost once in a while they pop on Friday, you make money, but it's not worth it if you average it out. That gambler's rush isn't worth it, guys. I mean, it's good. It's good. It's good. Okay. It's good. It's good. Yeah, but I'm cereal, guys. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Give me a big fucking cinnamon roll. I'll eat that in a van. If I don't have to do a bunch of calisthenics and eat a bunch of healthy organic foods, I could get into the van life as long as the van is parked in the driveway of my house and I can run inside if I need to use the tub. Need like a popsicle or something. Yeah, the van or freezer doesn't really work, but we don't need ice cream anyway. Well, fuck you again. Back to your 6-pack abs and your, why are you living in a van if you make so much money on YouTube? Well, just give it all to charity. No, you don't. No, you don't. I want to see your tax return. No one gives all their money to charity. Just a liar. I hate everybody living in a van by choice. Yeah, I can afford 5-star hotels. I just like this van. Guys, why am I such a bitter jerk? So anyway, I don't really have anything to say about CRISPR. I've made a million videos on why I think the pipeline is. One deal is going to be more than this whole market cap, guys. The next deal they make for their in vivo cardiovascular system, it's going to be massive. That's going to be, 25 billion. It's going to be an absolute blockbuster. It's going to make Casgevy look like small potatoes. You bunch of weak sauce turds. I hate my audience almost as much as the van life people. No, I really don't, guys. I like the people. I'm just being a massive Karen. I'm just trying to tickle your funny bone, guys. What's up, Billy Jack? What's up, Dude Ass Fates? What's up, Lisa? Guys, I got to get out of here. I got to get home. It's so late. Princess J probably doesn't want to see me because I'm a big, obnoxious jerk. No, I got to get home. Anyway, earnings CRISPR early August. Have you heard of? No, I have not actually. I got to look into that, Josh Webb. What is that? CNPV. No, I don't know what that is, to be honest with you, but I would love to check it out. What's up, Steve in the mountains? How's it going? Billy Jack, what's going on? The great Billy Jack is here. One of the greatest of the greats. The great Pip Cat has joined us. The great Pip Cat. He loves to call me old man. And I like that because I am kind of old. It sucks, but it's true. Shorts have to cover, right? Wouldn't it? They're not covering, Pip Cat. I mean, they're just not covering. So shares on loan are still 35 million. They're still shorting 27% of the free float. I mean, it's reduced very, very slightly, but it's like 100,000. They got to cover, 13, 14, 15 million shares. So they're not planning to do it, it looks like. It looks like they're digging in their heels and they're going to go to war and I think the reason why is because, like, unlike SMCI, you're not going to get these big wins This is going to be incremental. This is much longer term. Like SMCI for me, it's more like a 2-3 year trade because yeah, Dell's going to catch up. Dell's going to have more scale. I'm not saying there's going to be a gravy train forever, but I think SMCI the next 3 to 5 years could be incredible. I think, CRSP, you're more looking at the next 5 to 10, but I think the smart money is going to get in and make deals with them much sooner than that. I think you could see a deal any day for any part of their pipeline because they trust them to get to the finish line because they're that good. They have the right team. They have the right idea. You don't abandon your ex vivo because in vivo is not going to be there for 10 years. You need some revenues to get you there. Got to get a sucker like Vertex to fund our operations. It's all ball bearings these days. Maybe you boys need a refresher course. Let's see. Josh Webb is Josh Webb. You probably are new here, but we do not like to provide any actual useful information to our audience. No, Josh Webb doesn't know the rules yet, so he's actually providing useful information. So let's share that. And this is, guys, sorry I forgot to put the comments on the screen the whole time. My bad. But new voucher falls in line with America's interest in cures, not treatments. Commissioner's National Priority Voucher. So it's basically like they can just sort of fast track. It's like another, this is national interest, so we're going to fast track it. That's sort of what I'm hearing. Dude, Trump won't take my calls. I try to call him because I could tell him how to, I could tell him how to fix shit and how to get a lot of the stuff done he wants to get done. But nobody listens to old cornbread because I am moist, I am doughy, and I crumble under pressure. And guys, it's been the honor of my life entertaining you ridiculous turds this Friday evening. It's Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. Thank you so much for joining me. And you guys have a safe and wonderful weekend. And I will talk to you again real soon. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Peace. I'm out. Dude, I'll tell him I have Billy Jack authorization. That's pretty much carte blanche. Thanks, Billy Jack. You guys have a great one. Appreciate it.